Hello children, welcome back. Today we are going to start chapter 8, Fire, Friend and Foe. So in this chapter we are going to learn all about fire. How fire can be our best friend and our worst enemy. Foe means enemy if we are not careful. We all know that fire is useful to us in our daily activities. Every day we use fire in different ways, right? But it can also be very dangerous. It can even take our lives if we are not careful with us. So over here in this chapter, we are going to find out how fire is created and the do's and don'ts while handling fire. Early man didn't know what fire was, but he must have seen the damage it could cause. He must have watched lightning and volcanoes long before he began to use fire himself. So in the earlier times, before fire was invented, the early man would not have known what fire was, but they would have surely seen volcanoes and lightnings and the damage that it could cause. Fire was powerful and dangerous, and he was frightened. Obviously, fire was very powerful, very dangerous, and man was scared, frightened of fire. Fire may have puzzled early men, but we now know that fire is the result of a chemical reaction. When the oxygen in the air combines with carbon and hydrogen in a fuel, a chemical reaction takes place. Energy in the form of heat and light is released in this process. This is what we call fire. So in earlier times, maybe men did not know what fire was. But now today, we educated people, we do know what fire is, how it is created, and in what ways we can use fire. So how is fire created, children? When the oxygen present in air, it comes in contact with the carbon and hydrogen present in any fuel. A chemical reaction occurs, and as a result of this chemical reaction, fire is created. Now what is fire? It is a form of energy which releases heat. Heat, why heat? Because it is very hot. And light, it also gives light, right? So energy in the form of heat and light is released in this process. Which process? The chemical reaction which occurs when oxygen comes in contact with the carbon and hydrogen present in any fuel. This is what we call fire. Three things are needed to make fire. Now to make fire, we need three things. What are those three things? Fuel, oxygen and heat. These three things are very essential when we want to make fire. Wood, coal, cooking gas and petrol are some examples of fuel. When you want to burn something, when you want to create fire, what are the most common things that we use, children? They are wood, coal, cooking gas and petrol. Oxygen comes from the air, right? Oxygen is already present in the air, so we don't need to have it with us. That is why when you blow on smoldering paper, it often bursts into flame. The third thing needed to make fire is heat. What is the next thing that we need? Heat, right? Now, for example, if you have a tub of petrol, if you leave it outside, it will come in contact with air, with the oxygen present in the air. Does that mean that it will start burning? No, to make it burn, you need to give it heat. You need to light a matchstick or something, right? So it also needs heat. Fuel and oxygen do not make fire by themselves, or else a newspaper or a stick lying in the open would catch fire on its own. If that was the case, if a newspaper or wood is lying anywhere, it will start burning because oxygen is always present in the air, right? So in order to create fire, you have to give heat from the outside source. To burn a piece of paper or wood, we heat it before it catches fire. We generally do it with a lighted match. We use a matchstick. Every fuel has a particular temperature at which it begins to burn. This temperature is called the flash point or kindling temperature of the fuel. Now different fuels have different flash points or kindling temperature. What is that? Means the specific temperature at which that fuel will start giving heat, will start making fire. That is called the flashing point or kindling temperature of any fuel. It is sometimes said that fire is a good servant but a bad master. So as long as fire is in your control, it is a good servant. But if it starts controlling you, if it becomes the master, then it is very bad. It only means that fire is very useful as long as it is kept under control. So fire is useful to us only when it is under our control. Once it starts controlling us, it could be disastrous. For instance, we use it to cook our food, warm our homes in winter, and to generate electricity. It is used for cooking, warming our houses in winter, to generate electricity, right? But on the other hand, if fire gets out of control, it can be very dangerous. Every year, thousands of homes and shops are damaged by fire. Vast areas of forest are also destroyed and hundreds of people are killed or injured. Every day, every year, there are thousands of lives which are lost due to fire in factories, houses, shops, forest fires, right? This only means that when fire starts controlling you or when fire gets out of control, it can be very dangerous. Every day, children, in newspaper, at least there is a one headline which tells us that this place caught fire, this many lives were lost, this many people were injured, right? This is all because of careless handling of fire. We have to be very careful when we are playing with fire, when we are trying to use fire for whatsoever purpose, right? So this is all about how we make fire, right? In the next lecture, we will learn more about fire, more do's and don'ts. Till then, take care and bye-bye.